All right, happy Thursday afternoon, everybody. I'm going to start off this show by saying, Tim, you were right.
About what? Nobody says I was right.
Draymond Green's suspension. They had to do one that was going to make a statement, and I think by suspending him indefinitely, that makes pretty much better statement than 3-4 games.
Well, how long is indefinitely?
Definitely.
I mean, is indefinitely 5 games, 5 months, 5 years, forever? I mean, it is. If you read what the analysis is of the whole thing, they want him to get some kind of professional counseling and/or treatment for the issues that he has, and that suggests to me that there are more issues that he has relative to how he behaves on the court than maybe what we've known about so far. But if you're the Golden State Warrior, you can't. I mean, this is the way you're going to go about your business with your team, and that's enough. It's hard enough to win these games when you got everything going for you, and then to have something like this going on. Izzo hasn't seen it, hasn't spoken with him. Is trying to do that. But what his issue? He wasn't like this when he was at Michigan State. But you know what? When you're 10 years, whatever he's been in the NBA with his 156 million, you give athletes this kind of money where the money's the least of their problems and they can do anything they want. I think it changes a little bit of way all of them in different sports tend to behave. Whether that's affected him negatively or not, I don't know. But he's had it. He's had a controversial run.
It's his 18th ejection of his career, the one that he had the other day. That's a lot.
I mean, how long do you want to? What surprises me more is that Golden State didn't get involved with this directly before the NBA. I mean, for the money that you pay these guys, don't you expect? It's like working here or any place else. For what they pay you, they expect a level of behavior that goes with that. Obviously, and how many other players behave the way he does? In the past, there have been a few, but
there was even a little scuffle yesterday with the Pacers-Bucks game after
he wanted the game ball. Just give him the game ball.
It's all different levels, and some of them are handled better than others.
I think it's why some people have a level of resentment at times for professional sports and athletes for the money to make and the behavior they display.
It's kind of like the behavior that Mahomes displayed over this past weekend.
Well, I mean, look, when you're in the public eye the way these guys are and negative things happen, and it's somewhat of an embarrassment, it gets public. And I think a lot of people resent some of the money that these guys make for playing games. It's the way it is, and they're not all that way. I mean, they're not all that way, but
not all of the Warriors are that way.
But no, but I would think if you're in that organization, this has got to come to an end one way or the other because it's counterproductive, and we're paying you. He makes something in the neighborhood of a couple $100,000 a game. Now he loses all that. Not that he's destitute by any manner or means. I'll be curious to see how. I'm somewhat skeptical he'll even be back this season.
Really?
Well, I think you got to cure this.
He's
got to understand that when you play competitive sports or basketball, you don't have, no matter how tough things get, you don't have the right to just go ahead and, if he'd have done what he did out on the street, he'd been arrested for assault.
That's what I'm saying. If he had did it in college, he would have been in just, if not more trouble. We've seen that happen in football. So what happens first? Draymond Green comes back for an NBA game, or the Pistons win an NBA game?
Pistons will win. Next week they got Utah at home. They're not going to win at Philadelphia tomorrow, and I don't think they'll win at Milwaukee Saturday, although they play well there. But you would not expect them to win those two. So that would get them to 23 straight, but Utah's here, and Utah's awful. Although I thought the Wizards were awful and Memphis was awful, they both played in Detroit recently, and they both beat Detroit handily. So you tell me. They're on a pace to go 7-75. That would break the NBA futility record by 2 wins at that pace.
I'm going to go ahead and say the Pistons are going to win because I think the league and I think the Warriors are really going to take this chance to get Draymond Green in the right state of mind while they can.
Well, I don't know what his issue is.
We may not know. We may not ever know.
I mean,
Coach Kerr might not know.
he says, what did he say? He said he used his arms to make a statement to the official relative to the play. When I can't speak for one and all, but when I saw that and heard that, I thought that's going to be a tough sell for some people.
Sounds like a scientific
He said he was
theory.
trying to make a statement with his arms flailing, and he does it, and he didn't know that he was going to catch the guy the way he did.
We'll see. What we kind of heard about over the weekend has been made official with Michigan State football head coach Jonathan Smith, named Joe. Is it Rossi or Rossi? Do you know?
Rossi.
Rossi from Minnesota, the team's new defensive coordinator. What are your thoughts on this this hiring based on his success at Minnesota?
Well, I mean, to any there aren't many coaches in the Big Ten that leave one Big Ten job for another Big Ten job unless the money is significantly different or this guy's a personal friend. I don't know either of that. Minnesota had a losing season as playing in a flea bag bowl game in Detroit against Bowling Green. Does Rossi know something about the future with P.J. Fleck? I don't know. Is he concerned that if I don't take this staff is on the ropes a bit, which they well could be, but whether there was more motivation than that, I'll just say that it's unique that you go Big Ten, the way he's doing.
Almost like a lateral.
Well, I don't know that. I mean, I don't know if he knows that. I don't know if he thinks that until you hear him talk or whatever the scuttlebutt is behind this. It's just usually you don't see that, the way that move is being made. But what if he knows something? Does he know something about the future of Minnesota staff? I got this now. It's not going to be there. If I don't take it, somebody else will.
Speaking about what's going to happen in the future, we do have that Michigan State University has a new commitment from Oregon State and Aiden Childs.
Oh, the Aiden Childs, of course. But that's not a secret. That was anticipated a week ago. He visited here over the weekend.
Over the weekend.
I would think there's got to be some ruffled feelings amongst the Oregon State staff because the guy that got promoted, a lot of those coaches are gone. Key players are gone. They have to go play Notre Dame at a bowl game with a skeleton staff. And that's a player that you would want to have stay at Oregon State since they went out of their way to get him some playing time at Oregon State this last fall. He's got 3 years of eligibility. Look, there's two lures to coming here. One, he knows the coach.
We recruited him out of high school.
And two, there is an opening here.
There is.
For a second stringer and a third stringer. There are openings here.
There are plenty of openings. We did have a report that Childs will enroll immediately and will arrive on campus in early January. So looks like he's wasting no time following the coach.
Well, that means spring practice, and they got a lot of roster spots to fill.
18? Like, he's very young, I think I read.
Is he?
I think he's only 18. So not bad. What else is coming up on the sports desk tonight?
Izzo's on tonight. He spoke this afternoon. Yep. The women's coach is on. Xavier Booker, the freshman who doesn't get a lot of playing time but was heralded coming in. Fred asked him about transferring. I don't know what he said. I haven't seen the video yet. He's cutting it right now.
All right.
All that.
You will have to tune in at 6 o'clock, but we're going to hear from Tim at 5 o'clock, right?
That's what they tell me.
That's what we told you as soon as you came in.
If I can go in and get it done in time.
All right, you can go ahead and go. We'll let that happen for Amy's show. Everybody else, have a great Thursday night. We will see you later. Thanks for tuning in.